Hi guys, welcome to another game from Armies of Exigo. This time another matchup between me and Suvak. And this time will be a matchup on the Quiet Meadows map. And he will be playing with Fallen and I will be playing as Beast. So let's unpause it. You probably haven't seen many 1v1 replays where I play as Beast. So this will be something a little bit different. And also it's against Fallen, which is usually considered as kinda strong counter, let's say, to Beast in many things. Many people are complaining, of course, about certain mechanics of the Fallen, so we'll see how I will tackle it in this matchup. Of course, this map kinda allows you to fast expand, but it's not as easy because we have a really wide opening here. So that's something you have to keep in mind, of course. As Beast it will be really dangerous, but also I have the knowledge that Suvak is playing Fallen. These was not random races, I think. So I actually believe I will still try the fast expansion here, even though it's quite dangerous. As you can see, I waited for 330 gold, then I'm sending my minion. That's usually what you want to do. The idea behind this is that you have 7 minions of gold, or you have 8, you send one away, so you have 7 left, and you have 330 gold, which means 70 left to 400, which you need for the stronghold. So of course it also really depends on the distance of the expansion, but if it's like about this distance or a little bit shorter, you can usually go on 330 gold. If it's a little bit further, you go on 300 or even earlier, of course. But here I send it like this, timed pretty well. And immediately also starting the arena right next to it, not really making a front base or anything. We are trying to create a strong base on one position here that he could potentially go around with stingers and attack on my main base. That's a danger. But minions are actually kind of strong fighters, so if it's just stingers we can probably still fight them back, and before he gets spitters I should have army of goblins to fight him back as well. So this is just to protect us for now on this expansion. Of course, if he would go immediately for stinger push with 3 hives, I would probably die here, but that's kind of what you have to count with. If I would spawn right next to him and scout it with a minion, maybe kill his summoner to delay his expansion a little bit and went all in with all of my workers, I could also push him. The all-in push is still possible with Beast against Fallen expansion, but that's just how you play, with a little bit of a risk. But we actually have the expansion a little bit sooner than him, because the Beast expansion is now 110 seconds, while the Fallen one is 130 seconds. So that's 20-second difference. A little bit of an advantage for us. He's already starting with some gems, trying to prepare for the spitters there. Gathered exactly 60 for 2 spitters, and now he's going for gold again. It was a little bit too early, of course. He could have gotten a little bit more gold first, but it is still fine. As you can see, I'm protecting the totem as much as I can. Absolutely closing it from all sides with buildings, so the only way he can kill it with stingers is from this small entrance, and I can just easily protect it there. We have one warrior up, not really scouting anything yet. He's already sending his stingers out. And I'm already gathering here. Of course, I split my minions once again between 2 bases, trying to maximize it. We don't go for any gems yet, just trying to get as much gold as we can. He's still ahead in population and still has more resources as well. More resources, but that doesn't really mean that he has more income or something. Yeah, we'll have to wait a little bit longer to see about that. And now I'm of course also spending lots of resources on these units. Each warrior is like more than 2.5 of a stinger in terms of price. And now I finally started my goblin production, getting a second boron, and of course I spawned across the map, so he scouted the expansions on the sides. He knows that I am here. Now he found the expansion, but there is a totem, so his stingers cannot do anything, and he will have to of course pull back. This is not enough. Even if he would have 15 stingers, the totem is too well protected. 1 boron protecting it here. We have also units around it. They have 3 warriors, actually really strong, and I also already have some goblins there, so this is really hard for him to do anything, but he sees how turtle I play here, so he decided actually to go for expansion as well, another expansion, which I can't really do. I have the strength here in the defense. I actually have army that could push this back, but I didn't really know what he's going for. I was actually kind of afraid that when he saw this, that he will go for spitters, because I think that if he would stand with spitters here, he could shoot this stronghold without getting into the range of this totem, because his building is quite big. So I actually decided to make another totem in the front. This one is protecting me against spitters, and this one is protecting this totem against stingers. So that's the symbiosis here, let's say, between these two totems, while we are of course also gathering lots of goblins, which would be probably enough against spitters, but I wanted to be sure that we are safe. But yeah, now definitely if I would take everything and time push him, he doesn't even have any towers, it could be totally devastating for him. But he's also going already for Vengeance Hall, Whispers, Falcocoon, early preparing for the late game rather, also with the expansion, and just counting on the fact that I will just stay on 2 bases here. Yeah, so I was preparing for Spitter push. First I was preparing for Stingers with this tower, then for Spitter push with this tower, and now we are preparing for Guard harassment with this tower, so really preparing for all the potential stages of the Fallen harassment. And now I'm also getting Harpiness because we need some information of what's happening around the map, because I can't really get out of my base safely, because I don't know what he has here. Yeah, he could have like 10 Spitters here and 10 Stingers on each side. He could surround me and kill me. So you have to be careful where you go with the with the Beast Army against Fallen, or really against anything, because once they surround you it's really difficult. But now we decided to push a little bit. Of course I will still get the Harpy, so we have some fast air scouts and also getting Weapon Master, so we can get damage upgrades for the goblins. They have AoE damage, so that's really always worth it. But the enemy third base is already up, so he's definitely getting a huge economical advantage. He's also getting Venom upgrade, plus 2 damage for Spitters, while he already has 1 damage upgrade. Which I didn't get armor, it is usually better against goblins, but it's fine when I don't have the sharp blade yet. And he's also getting freeze, so this seems like the strategy he's going for. He already has 2 Void Walkers, and looks like he wants to just time push me with this. But the problem with freeze is that you need lots of damage to actually kill someone in the freeze, especially this early on. And if you invest so many resources to get to the Hall of Whispers and get the freeze and all the Void Walkers this quickly, you usually won't have enough resources, especially when you are also trying to expand behind it as well. So as you can see, it doesn't have too many units, and of course the freeze also gives you plus 8 armor on each unit that is affected by the stun. So the better way of actually using the freeze is not to freeze the whole army and then try to kill it, but is to, for example, freeze half of it, or if there is, for example, casters, then you can maybe freeze the priests and then try to kill the army, or just freeze the army and try to kill the healers, yeah, for example, something like that. But freezing the whole army and then trying to kill it with few units usually won't work. You will just waste your mana and then you will die in the fight anyways, which I think could happen here. We have much stronger army than what he has, even though he is ahead in population, but also lots of population is in the expansion here. He has 1 Stinger here. I don't see any guards yet, even though he got the Valkycoon. But my Harpy is already scouting here, and now we'll of course check the other bases. He's now getting some Lightning Spires, Sorrow Shrine, another Vengeance Hall, getting some Nightmares as well for Frost Shields, producing Stingers, Spitters. Not really trying to push me with the Void Walker, but he knows that he has a base advantage, or at least he knows that I'm not here and I'm not here. Even though maybe he really wouldn't see it being built, but at least I'm not gathering here. So unless I have like some ultra secret expansion on the other side of the map, he can be pretty certain that I don't have any bases that he wouldn't have. Actually, he's the one with 1 base ahead. Now I decided to go for 1 Strider, because it's a really strong unit to stopping enemy expansions, really hard to hunt down, especially for Fallen. He would need to get a Seeker there, so I can easily hold the bases, stop them, and just overall scout, because he's also a really fast unit. And if he finds me, I just hold position and become invisible. Of course, the extra expansion is paying off, so he's slowly getting economical advantage, which is reflected in the population, so he'll have also a bigger army, but still he has many more villagers here, so that's good to keep in mind. And also he has only 4 harvesters in each base. Of course, that's like playing with 8 for beast or human, so usually you want to get like 2 more at least, or at least 1 more. He already got 1 more. But this is not full free bases, because of course I have 10 on each here, so he is like 2.5, I would say, rather. Here I went for another base, but I already have Warlocks. I don't have many of them yet, so it won't be enough to probably dispel all the freezes that he can cast on me, even though I have some decent mana there. I also have to maneuver them nicely, so they don't get freezed. But also we can of course cast Poison Fox, maybe make him spend mana on anti-magic, and if he even has it researched, I don't think he has, maybe. And yeah, as you can see, nice poison fog there on all the spitters. His whole front line is now half HP. Some of them even almost died. Yeah, it's just really strong. And we forced him back like this. My expansion is nicely building. And now my army has a really strong power spike. And he will have big problems fighting this, of course. He's setting up a 4th base, as I'm setting up the 3rd one. He froze me, but he doesn't have any units here, so this is just a waste. And I actually forced it back on him with the spell steal, or how is it called? Abduction ability. So we froze his Void Walkers back, tried to kill them, but unfortunately he already came with his army. But at least we killed some stingers there. Now he's trying to create some front bases here with deformers. Basically splitting the map in half. Of course he probably wants to get towers there and also the unholy ground, which is really valuable for the Fallen. But my expansion is up. We are starting to produce minions in other bases as well. Or at least this one for now. Getting more warlocks mainly, but also more trolls, barons and goblins. Now finally moving some minions from here as well to the expansion. Getting a totem here. And he will try to split push me here with something, or maybe check these expansions as well. But these two locations are so close to each other, plus I have lots of totems here, so this is not really pushable easily. So I started protecting this now that... but yeah, it's so close that it's really easy for me to just protect with one army, even though if he will be split pushing me from two sides. And the second army is not even prepared here yet, so this is just about me catching this. Maybe we catch a poison fog there. I was too slow with the warlocks, that was a bit of a mistake. Now he immediately moves here, because he saw my whole army here. Checking his position with the goblin hunter, but now we move back. One strider prepared here, but maybe he has a seeker or infested unit. I think he saw him. Now he pushes back, but once again I just play with the same army. Nice poison fog there, even though my units kinda walked into it as well. But we still have the totem. He will maybe kill a few minions, but here we are fighting with the second half of the army. A few warlocks there, a few warlocks here. Poison fog. Seems like he still doesn't have anti-magic. Actually he has it, but he can steal it really late. His deformers are up. He's setting up some first towers. This base is starting to slowly work. But he still needs to get this one, and here he would have to make the front base more in the front, so I think he can't really take this safely. But I'm immediately making another base, actually two bases, trying to catch up once again. Yeah, I gained some advantage in terms of map control and map presence. We have a really strong army. He can't really push into me. He's acting like kinda scared, yeah, playing defensively. So investing also lots of resources into the defense. So I will just take the bases quickly and try to catch up. Even expanding with two bases at once, I have the resources for it, so why not? And I have the army to protect it, so now we just need to have some scouts around the map, maybe some few units there to protect it from like 1 or 2 units running there. If he of course brings like 20, then I will also split half of my army and send it there maybe to stop it. But population is pretty much balanced, even though we had an extra base for majority of the game. I actually have a little bit more resources, even though I'm struggling with wood right now. Yes, double gems, I have 4 times more gold. One summoner here, so potentially going for expansion as well, you'll see. But he doesn't really have the resources, he needs to pump them into units. Right now I am actually ahead in terms of population. He invested so many resources into these towers. And now he's going for a push with everything except the Void Walkers. I think he kind of forgot about them maybe. Or he was just checking the map, but now I saw him with the Harpy. So I'll prepare my army. Void Walkers are coming really dangerously. If I would be here, he would lose all of them. He's trying to maybe mana burn me. Or gain some skeletons there, I don't know. Once again, freeze, that doesn't really do anything. Plus I have the abduction there ready, so doesn't really matter. Lots of poison fogs, he's not there to anti-magic it. He's trying to push me into his towers, but of course when I will see them I will return, so they are not really losing much, but population is staying the same, resources also kinda. So this is pretty much balanced, but I'm getting 2 expansions behind this, even though I'm not producing minions there right now. I was focusing on the fight, but still good. Getting lots of freezes on those guys, on those Void Walkers. Even tried some confusions, I think. And we just kinda destroyed his whole army. Population is still balanced, but it's probably mainly in his production buildings right now. Of course I also lost some borons probably, but we can produce those. Mana burn on which doesn't really matter. And he still didn't get this base, he didn't get this base. This one would be really safe for him. This one would be kinda safe here, he could just extend this wall. And maybe later even this one could be takeable, but I took all the bases that I had safe on my side of the map. And now I'm actually one base ahead, even though these two are absolutely not working yet. Trying to set up some totems now, bring some more minions from other bases, so yeah, it will still take some time, but we have definitely a really nice map control. He's bringing some splitters here. I have few units that probably won't be enough. This Strider unfortunately moved, I didn't have him on hold position, otherwise he would be really strong, but he can quickly work with this. He's finally getting this expansion as well. As you also maybe saw, I also have Mouth of Hell in my base. I don't think I got the Rain of Fire yet. And I don't think I will actually use it in this game, which was a mistake. But I was kinda low on gems, even though now I would almost have enough gems for it. It's 250 gems. He's trying to push me here again. But I'm still producing new units. Unfortunately, I don't think I will cast anything here with this Warlock. Here I sent some warriors actually to deal with these spitters. We have 3 damage upgrades on them. No armor yet. While he has also full damage, but 1 armor already. And now he's getting Avengers. 1-1 upgrades. Which I don't think I have any upgrades on Trolls, because I probably didn't even get a hench yet. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. But I'm just spending all of my gems on new Warlocks, while of course remaking our Borons and everything. Even send some warriors here to clear this expansion and of course protect these two. We should finish these totems soon, hopefully. Seeker immediately died, of course, and we are trying to saturate these bases slowly, and we are on full population. Same as him, basically, a little bit ahead, a little bit more resources, so it's still looking really good for us. Of course, he has this huge infrastructure here in the middle that we have to fight through, but my army is looking really dangerous. And yeah, the Warlock here in the front, not ideal. Harpies also kinda not in the best situation. I should have probably just destroyed it with pure trolls, but I kinda also needed new population for the trolls because I had only like, I don't know, maybe 6 of them, 8. Nice freeze here from him. I could have abducted it with these 2 warlocks, but those probably didn't have it on autocast and I didn't really have time to manually do it. So this was a good fight for him. He brought me down by like 20 or 30 population. He maybe destroyed like 1 deformer and tower, but overall he didn't lose any units. His expansion is finally starting to work. I'm trying to get another expansion here, still protecting it here by the warriors. He's also getting another one, so now all expansions on the map are taken, exactly split in half. He's also trying to take this, but that won't work for him, but of course he will send some spitters and kill my warriors. That's not really gonna work for me. I really forgot about the upgrades here in the Weapon Master for armor. He's trying to mana burn me here a little bit, but it's not that easy against... I mean, you can mana burn witches, but you can't really mana burn warlocks that easily. And I'm getting actually the Rain of Fire, as you can see, it's charging up, but I think he'll actually destroy this Mouth of Hell, but let's see, I'm not actually sure. The Stronghold is actually already up, really quick for the beast, but he's sending his whole army here. I have my army ready, but lots of Borons, yeah, we need to somehow group this up. And now actually, yeah, he managed to get with 5 spitters here. I didn't actually remember how he got into my base, but he just walked there with 5 spitters and my 2000s weren't really able to stop them. So that was a really good move from him. Now he'll of course destroy this. Not sure what he's here doing with the Void Walkers. But yeah, he just got into my base, now he started killing villagers and he actually immediately goes for the Mouth of Hell, which is of course a really important building. And that was like a really good move from him, yeah. That could have won him the game. But he still got some nice poison fogs here, anti-magic kinda late. Also the anti-magic cleanses the units in that area, basically. It doesn't really dispel the effect, so it's only that the poison effect that is being put on the units is removed when they are standing in that area. But if you basically get poisoned, move away and then cast the anti-magic here, these units are still poisoned behind it, yeah? So you would need to actually cast it behind the spell when you are moving away, which is pretty unintuitive and often kinda hard to actually dispel it. So yeah, he just destroyed half of my infrastructure here. Fortunately there is actually no more gold there. but we might struggle with wood soon. 30 population behind now. Gold is pretty much the same. He has way more wood. I have more gems. I'm getting some heals here even. We have lots of boron production, so that's okay. Bringing in warlocks, that kinda died in the process. But we have the trolls here, getting through the towers pretty quickly. We still have lots of expansions working here, so gold is not actually no resources are a problem. I just need to rebuild my infrastructure, even destroy dark altars, so that's a problem, of course. But we are not allowing him to expand here, while actually gathering there, even though I don't have a base. But long distance mining is still, of course, getting us some resources, so why not? If I have the extra workers. This we are trying to clear, but there is still one spitter left. Here I have some AFK minions. Looks like I even got some cursed trees there. Freezes. Another freeze. Abduction quickly. He's trying to get me from multiple sides with all the Avengers and some spitters, but we are dealing with that. He has level 3 spitters now, level 4 spitters, level 3 Avengers. Materials of course don't get any levels, same as the Void Walkers, and he doesn't have any stingers now. Spitter is still here, you might even destroy the stronghold. But of course I was focusing on the main fight here. Level 4 Goblin Hunter will die to a tower. Another one here, level 2. My warlocks are also walking through here because of course I had rally points on my armies, so once again a mistake. I'm making lots of mistakes here, wasting lots of units, but also he's making mistakes. For example, he doesn't have any stalkers, which would help him against the trolls a little bit. Of course I could move away from the defiles, but I would need to invest more resources maybe to harpies to stop them and so on, so definitely also some mistakes on his side there, but you can see the mistakes I'm making here with losing units to towers and having to rebuild my infrastructure because he destroyed half of my base. It's definitely being displayed on the resources. I have 0 wood, half gold, gems is something I still have, but it's definitely not looking that good. He got his expansion of course, so that's good for him. But I'm getting this one again, even though he's a reformer here. He's not really stopping it. He still has full population, but he doesn't have any units. So right now the question is where his population is actually, and he forgot some units here. He actually told me that after the game. He also didn't know it, and then he saw it on the replay. That reminds me of a game I played with Enya. That was already released on my channel maybe like a month ago when you see this, or maybe even longer. But there I was playing with Fallen against Empire, and I also forgot lots of units at my production buildings. Even though this seems... Actually, this one is not stuck. I think he also kind of forgot to put some rally points there. So yeah, that could also definitely help him a little bit, because right now he has resources, but he doesn't have population. And of course his army is kinda small. But it's hard to, of course, realize this during the fight. That you should check your bases, but definitely something to keep in mind. Because as we can see, many people are making this mistake. So finally we finished this stronghold. I'm also taking this base, why not? Anything I conquer I will of course capture for myself. We need to... I don't know how much gold he has, but 2.5k is not that much in this stage of the game, so I just knew that we have to work towards fixing this. Trolls are getting nice levels. Many level 3 or even level 4, and at this point we have like like plus 50% damage, and it's just insane. 150% basically. That's just really strong. Level 5 would be of course even better. Here we came with some confusions, poison fog, totally destroying of course anything they can do, and then we can nicely shower them with the rocks from our trolls. And now we kinda pushed him back, even though he has the gold, he doesn't have any gems, so he can't really reproduce the army. He still wasn't able to stop this, even though he has some units there, but of course he's mainly trying to stop my main army that is destroying him really quickly. Here we have Borons taking down a Avenger. I mean, why not? They have bash damage, and Avengers take full damage from bash. As one of the few damage types where they take full damage, so that's definitely efficient. Or basically any physical damage. Pierce is also physical, but I mean melee physical. And then there is of course Pike that deals more than double. But you don't have any Pike damage as Beast. But this is also bash on trolls, so that's what you usually want to use.
The building complete, Master.
And we kinda spent all of our gold. He actually tried to make some deformers around my base. I'm also keeping some units at my home actually. There is a stuck minion, we have some goblins that were produced when I lost my my rally points. Here we have our new Mouth of Hell. Finally got the Rain of Fire. The question is if we'll have a chance to cast it, I don't think so. Here he's trying to tower rush me, but also sending units, so once again Investing also restores us into this, but he didn't really need gold and wood, so this is kinda fine for him. Of course I will save this base. Unfortunately it's don't form too late. Maybe some kills on Voidwalkers, always worth it. And we just continue, of course. He's trying to avoid it. We have lots of Boron. We have basically only Borons, Trolls and Casters at this point. No goblins, but as we saw, we have some goblins stuck at our home. Nice confusions there. And eventually he calls it GG. So yeah, interesting game. A little bit longer, 35 minutes, but actually not as long. We had many 45 minutes games as well, so I think that's fine. We can check the results here. Units, we killed 233, lost 214. He actually produced a little bit more, but not that much, only 30 more. Largest army on our side, way more experience of course. He got more researches, also more buildings, and a little bit more gold, like 2k, but we kinda nicely catched up. Wood, he had a little bit more, but we spent more. And gems also pretty much balanced, but he definitely spent way more. We weren't using many of our gems that we had gathered throughout the game. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next one, so take care guys.